Despite the downpour, Lamar Jackson once again struggling throwing the ball downfield. Went 1 for 6 for 18 yards. He's now completing under 39% of such throws this season, which is 26th among 33 qualified quarterbacks. So let's take a step back and take a look at this, because so much to unpack from this game. And Rex, where do we begin? What is the first and foremost thing that comes out of last night?
Coaching still matters. And Cam, you heard Cam talk about it. Belichick had his team prepared. We knew he would. You think they were surprised by the weather? That's not the first time they did it. Right when the week started, that's where the preparation for this occurred. You know they were using wet footballs, all those type of things. Look at the game plan. Josh McDaniels, let's stop and let's look at exactly how they attacked the Ravens. Mm-hmm. They couldn't throw it down the field. Nobody could do it. They pounded them. They went right into the teeth of them. But the thing that really impressed me the most, when I saw all this outside running game, why the crack tosses that showed up so much yesterday? What it was, they got the Ravens in man coverage, and they're like, oh, really? We're going to start running some crack tosses, bring those guys in, get guys around the corner, and we got the numbers on you. That's just incredible coaching by Josh McDaniels and Belichick, having their team prepared for those things. It really showed up in the red zone. Dan, we saw that one highlight that you had on Cam Newton.
Yeah.
They brought him in, man coverage. Guess what? Nobody's home for the quarterback. So, to me, coaching matters, and Belichick still does it better than anybody.
And the Patriots really, with that, keep their season alive in a big picture. But, Ryan Clark, let me come to you on the other side. When you watch the Ravens, and it's been a struggle now for a few weeks, what thought goes through your mind?
The air of invincibility is gone. We watched this team dominate from about week 3 on last year, and it seems like teams lost before they even got to the field. How will we stop the physicality? Can we ever catch up to Lamar Jackson? I mean, it feels like when Buster Douglas took down Mike Tyson and the world realized he was human, or when Antonio Tarver asked Roy, what's the excuse now? When you see this game, when you see these teams play against the Baltimore Ravens now, you feel like if you could take them into the deep rounds and make this Baltimore passing game have to beat you, make them have to come up with stops, not just turnovers, defend against your physicality, this team has troubles. And when you watch them against the Kansas City Chiefs, you've seen them in the playoffs, also against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe there's more confidence walking into the stadium against the Baltimore Ravens that if we make them play, if we make them continue to execute for 4 quarters, we can beat this team. And now that we're seeing that, we're going to see it week in, week out, them have to fight to beat good football teams.
Significant injuries as well for that team. They lose the tackle a few weeks ago. They lose the tight end last night. So there's a host of problems right now for the Ravens.
Yeah, and touching on RC's point, like, this is not last year's Baltimore Ravens, and we all need to accept that. Last year, Baltimore on offense was 2 things. They were explosive and they were dominant. Like, in the explosive, both in the run and the pass game. That's not happening this year. They were dominating at the line of scrimmage. That's not happening this year. This is 3 weeks in a row now. Remember, 3 weeks ago, Hollywood Brown was outspoken about not getting the ball enough. Last week, Lamar's talking about their offense being predictable. And then last night, they scored 17 against the defense that the week before the Jets hung 27 on. You know, this offense doesn't do anything well. It doesn't do anything that a defense is going to look at this year and go, you know, that scares me. Or we got to be focused on stopping that. Last year, it was Lamar in the run game. It was the 3 tight end package. It was the play action game. They don't have that this year. This is not last year's Ravens team, and I'll keep it real. Their season is on the brink. Their season on the brink of being lost.
I think that's not overstating it. And, Rex, I will just ask you, people said last year that teams would have the offseason to study that offense and figure out how to stop it. Is that what's happening? Have people figured out the Ravens' offense?
Well, I mean, to some extent, absolutely. I mean, quarterback running game, you got to get prepared for it. Teams are way more prepared for it than they ever were. But to Dan's point, they don't have those 3 tight ends anymore. Right. And are you going to match up in base personnel or small guys? It makes a big difference. So you're seeing teams, they don't have that personnel group, so they're putting more speed on the field to stop Lamar Jackson and company. And that's really the difference, I think.
That's where it begins. Patriots got to win to keep their season alive. Ravens, says Dan, their season on the brink. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.